Many years ago in New York City, I learned what they call the encounter technique, which meant you would confront the other's defenses until they broke down, and then you put in some new attitudes and change behavior. It was based on a lot on the medical model. Somebody's sick, you confront them, you try to heal them. And what they said to us then, they said the most important tool that you're using when you work with people is compassion. And if you don't have that, then maybe you're ego tripping and you like the title of being a leader or a counselor, or you're caught up with the image, but you're not operating from a position where you can really help the other. You have to have a deep desire for compassion. A compassionate. You have to be willing to see the other person and care about them, because after compassion, care follows. First, you have this compassion. You're worried. Hey, what's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? The person is crying. You don't necessarily care why he's crying. You feel that he's crying, he's suffering, and you say, "Oh, okay, hold on a second. You can tell me why later." Compassion. You're being there with the other. You're caring about the other. You're demonstrating that. And nobody can teach you that, It has to be this willingness that you see the other and you want to do something. You want to help them in your way. You have to have compassion if you want to work with people. Caring is really important. I tried to explain that to you. My first therapist, she didn't care that I had a birthday, and I was 15 years old. I was just feeling like I'm part of some list that gets checked off, and I didn't feel her caring about me. I needed that. On the other hand, I had a teacher in the same hospital, Mike Zerkel, and he did pottery. And so in occupational therapy, I would visit Mike, and he would encourage me in whatever I did. He would encourage me. And after a while, I was just making pots for him to say he liked it, because I needed his love. I needed his approval. I needed him to say, I'm okay, He was just a compassionate person. He cared. He really cared. And he showed you. He told me interesting things, like these big vases that the Chinese have, these giant vases. He said, you know how they made them? I said, no. He said, they would get these straps, and they would put these two poles at the end of these straps. And then when the pot was cupping, then they would turn it over, and then you would just, with your long arms and these poles, bring the shape in. And I said, but what about it falling on you? They said they had it all worked out, But I was just so fascinated. He was teaching me, and I felt he cared about me. I was ready to do anything for him because I felt that. If you work with people and they feel you care about them, it doesn't matter so much about the technique. Any technique will work, by the way, if you do it totally. Any technique, any method, any approach will work. If you're behind it, it'll work. But what makes it work is the human being behind it. You gotta care, man. And you act as if you care. And you feel as if you care. And you think as if you care. And before you know it, you're caring. I like that word, compassion.